Don't be touching yourself. Here we are. Oh, there we are. All right. Let me get to here. And hey, by the way, how is everybody? Go ahead and say hi.
What's up? Hey, everybody. Welcome again. It's that time of the week for myself here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Ron, and always I have with me.
I'm his brother Mike in Amarillo, Texas, as the locals would say, Amarillo.
Amarillo.
I'm in
Hey,
Amarillo,
Mike, I wore this shirt just for you today.
I need beer. Carolyn's got a funny pair of socks. It has something to do with if you can read this, I need another glass of wine. But it's on the bottom of the feet. It's really kind of cute.
I love it. I love it. So happy Valentine's Day to all of you.
Happy Valentine's Day, yeah, to everyone.
Hope everybody got all their dreams came true. I mean, let's face it, those that have been together for more than 15 years, it's, today is Wednesday, but no, it's we had a good time. We exchanged gifts. The granddaughter was just digging the whole idea of going and getting a gift for Tita. So
of course
it all worked. It all worked out. It worked out well. Nothing a little candy won't fix.
I have to tell you real quick, the radio audience knows this, but you guys don't. Carol and I really don't celebrate Valentine's Day. And I mean that sincerely. We don't. We wake up on Valentine's Day morning, look at each other and say, hey, babe, love me? Yep. All right. Good enough. I love you too. And the reason why we do that actually started about 10 years ago because being the typical guy, I understood, oh, shit, it's the end of the day. I need to go get her something. So I stopped off at a store, and I wanted to be kind of different on this day. So I go into the store and get her a bouquet of helium balloons, Mylar balloons, and spent some pretty good money on them. Only to the moment I walked outside, the wind blew and took every one of those balloons. And there were a couple of people outside looking at me like, oh, dude, that's uncool. Sorry about that, man.
You know what my wife calls those?
A
waste of money.
Yeah, well, that's why we don't do that anymore. So at that moment, we just kind of decided, you know what? Let's just tell each other we love each other and move on.
Yeah, my wife tells me I don't eat chocolate. I don't like stuffed animals. She's allergic to flowers, but her favorite color is clear.
Oh, really? All right.
And I'm not talking about vodka.
I'm gonna let me talk about something for a second. And thank you, by the way, for everybody that's tuning in. I'm going to change the banner up. What?
So I know Mike had posed the question. There's actually a couple of questions. One that I did kind of like. I want to talk about was the things that we have in today's day and age. Some of the things that we wish we could have had in our younger years. And right. I'm gonna lead that off with, for those of you that don't know me, I own a couple of businesses, and one of them is a construction business. So I thought about that today, Mike, and it blows my mind to watch these guys back in like the early 1800s or even before then, how they used to build stuff and put things together. It just blows my mind how they could do it. Nowadays, there's a tool and a video for everything. These guys building the pyramids or log cabins, or if you ever watch, Dad used to have one, a manual screwdriver or drill.
I had it.
Used to do this and it would drill through it, and these guys today, and including myself, I can't exclude myself out of this, had just become so adept to the modern equipment and tools because everything's done by a tool or some sort of machine now.
I have the woodworking I like to do. And it's funny you mentioned that because I think about this all the time. Right now, I have a planer an electric planer that's
You sure you
out
want
of
to talk about that?
and I want to and I just think a lot of times, what the hell they do back in the day when they didn't have all this shit I have in my shop,
Amen.
and they built stuff that's still standing and better than we can build today.
Yeah.
So that's I hadn't even thought about when I thought about the question. I didn't think about it in the terms of how did they, because I do think about that a lot. It's how the hell they do this back in the 1700s, 1800s. How did
Oh,
they
look,
do it?
building the pyramids.
Yeah, when we take, by the way, speaking of the pyramids, I just learned this one today. The Giza, the Pyramid of Giza, somebody at some point realized it's not a perfect square on the bottom. Apparently, one side is 5.5 inches shorter than the other one.
Easy,
And,
Karen.
well, at what point did somebody stand in front of the damn Pyramid of Giza and go,
With a tape measure?
that looks like it's about 6 inches off on this side, and decide
I'm calling bullshit.
That's what I'm calling. I'm calling shenanigans. There's some bullshit there. Who decided what happened that you guys were just out? I can see a couple of tourists. Oh, this is wonderful. Nope. No, I was watching Mike and Ron's
right here.
I was watching Mike and Ron's podcast, and they got me thinking, how did they build these back then? No, see, they didn't have digital technology. This side's a little shorter. It has to be.
I have to admit, though, I am that guy that'll walk through your house and straighten your pictures and tell you that your blinds are a 1/2 inch off on one side and the other.
Isn't that funny? I always tell Carolyn that's the gay in me coming out. Where does this go? Well, that needs to go on this wall, and this needs to be squared up there.
I call that my feminine side.
Yeah, it's exactly. And Carolyn in the past has even said, "Okay, come here. I need the gay side of you to help me with this one." All right, honey.
You're all, stop it.
All right, baby. What do you need? When I thought about
what did you have in mind when you posed that question?
When I tell you what I was thinking about is, one of the things we take for granted today is, and we've talked about it, brother. We've talked about these things, right?
Amen.
And I wish we would have had something. I would take this back to our youth, not for all the bullshitting, texting and that kind of stuff. I would love to have photos, just photographic proof of some of the things that you and I and others did when back in that day. I would love to have some sort of, because we didn't have cameras. We weren't, it's not that we maybe didn't want one. We just didn't think in this mindset. We didn't think to chronicle and log, some of the things we did back in the day. And today, I wish to hell we would have. And so
now
I was really thinking about that.
Social media does it for us. I mean, how many times have you got onto your, I don't know if you got on Facebook or whatever, but I do all the time. I get on there where it says memories, and it'll show me stuff from 12, 15 years ago. And I'm like, I won't lie. Sometimes it tears me up or chokes me up because I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. We have kids or grandkids or family or friends that you haven't seen forever. And it's just like, holy shit, I remember that day. And it's kind of in the same line with what we're trying to do here is bring some of those memories back. You know what I mean? And I'll see a picture and it's just like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. But yeah, I agree. I'm down, man. I wish we had some way to chronicle the things that we did or had back in our day. I mean, I remember just having, Polaroid cameras or what the hell are those little Kodak cameras with a little turning light bulb on it as you took the picture?
Oh, like those? the Instamatic ones.
Instamatics. There you go. Yeah.
We, Carolyn and I still have film that we've never had developed.
What's that?
Yeah, right. See, it's funny you say that because, whenever I'm watching like football or something and they'll ask the guys, how did you prepare for the game? Well, I spent a lot of time in the film room. Yeah. Really? You watching film? You might want to talk to your team owner and get up at the times, yo. Yeah.
Step up about 30 years.
We be watching a lot of film. Really? I feel for you because most teams watch video. But you have fun with that film watching.
Yeah, it's
I'm that guy
no,
now.
I agree. I mean, I still have, and I'm sure you probably do too. I don't doubt it. But photo albums, I have
Yeah.
dozens of photo albums of stuff. But now, like I said, now it's everything's digital and instant. It's all on social media, so that's kind of our way of looking back. But I remember back in the day, you'd go visit somebody, friends or family, or whatever, and you break out these big freaking books of page after page after page of pictures. Oh, do you remember this? Oh, do you remember this person or that person? You know, and half the time you don't know who the hell they were, but you're like, oh yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
I, occasionally I know Carolyn is really good at this. She has her father's footlocker from when he was in the service, and it's full of slides and in old photographs. And then we have shoebox after shoebox of old photographs. And so, Carolyn, about once or twice a year, will feel a little nostalgic, and she'll pull these out and start looking at them. And I forget.
Yep.
She'll hand me some pictures, and I'll go, "Oh God, I forgot all about that."
Yeah. I'm the same way. I actually, speaking of family and friends, our sister Dawn, I had sent a picture, actually a picture I think I got from you, of her and I when we were younger. I had old orange jacket on, and we're standing by a car or something, and there was a picture of the three of us, and the picture just her and I sent that to her, and she's like, "Oh my God, where did you find that? I haven't seen that in forever." But it's those little sprinkles of memories that make us step back and think, man, what a life. Because I mean, to me, Mike, you and I are still on Debonair Circle,
Oh yeah, yeah,
Bubby and Bubby sharing a room downstairs, and I like living there. I like living in that space in my mind, because it keeps things fresh in my mind. And
it is. And especially on days like today, I had a friend of ours. She's actually a sergeant with the police department here, and I had her on the show today. And one of the things we talked about was, just how nutty everything is right now here in Amarillo. In the last 2 weeks, we've had the better part of 8, 9, 10 incidents that have involved gunfire. We've had 3 fatalities in the last week. It's just, and then with what happened at Lakewood Church over the weekend, and
yeah,
then today in Kansas City.
yeah,
And so once we got all past that, even after the show, Carl and I visited after the show, and one of the things that she brought up is, she says, you ever just stop and think about how much simpler it was maybe when we were kids. You didn't,
you're like,
you
have
know,
I got something for you?
this just didn't happen. So I said, my brother and I do a podcast we're doing tonight. So I told her what the name of it was. Carla's kind of a sweet girl. I don't know if she really digs the name, but I said, go ahead and find it. It be on Facebook and YouTube tonight. But I that's me running around the block to get back to you, what you just said. And that's where I go. That's where I go. Look, I'm 62. I know you're 55. Um, Even now, I have days and moments in the day where I just think, fuck, I just want to stop and remember what it was like on Debonair.
Amen.
I want to remember what it was like, because when you do what I do for a living, um, I get paid to pay attention to politics, to news, to all the nonsense. And occasionally, I just kind of sit down in the quiet, and I just want to go back to Debonair. I just want to be
Yeah.
that kid.
Oh man, I
And
feel you, Mike. I feel you.
yeah. And with that being said, certainly prayers go out to those people in Kansas City that suffered at the hands of, whoever these idiots were that, executed that reign of terror. And it's a tough spot. But like Carl and I talked about, and I don't want to become, Michael Downer here, but you can't let it control you. You
No.
can let it, it'll impact you. But I said, the time we're in right now is we have to be more cognizant of what's happening around us. We have to be more aware. Whereas when we were kids, we didn't worry about that kind of shit. We didn't have to worry about somebody, shooting us. I mean, listen, for the troublemaker I was, I'm pretty sure maybe mom and dad were hoping, I wish somebody would come club him like a baby seal. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is yeah, it's we didn't worry about this kind of stuff when we were younger, and so now, and I know you do. I mean, I'm a concealed carrier. I don't take it with me, but only if we travel or something like that. I don't, keep it with me at all
Hey,
times.
man, I will flat out tell you, it's my American Express card.
Mhm.
Never leave home without
I
it.
know you do.
Especially.
And I told Carla. Carla actually, I told her, I said, well, here's the reason why I don't is because I know me, and I know my temper. I'm getting better as I get older, but I still have that gray area, that line you cross, that I go from being Mr. Nice Guy to I'm just going to rip your throat out and shit down your neck.
Yep.
That's my fear. Is somebody's going to push me, and I'll
Yeah.
become my next news story.
And you know what, Mike? And you hit it right on the head. It's not nowadays. It's you can't be the good guy because you're gonna get sued. You're gonna get killed. Yeah. You're gonna get whatever. You pick your poison. It's hard to be the good guy in today's day and age.
It's very hard. It doesn't mean you shouldn't want to be or try to be. It's just people today are just making it harder and harder to try to be the nice guy. Carolyn, bless her heart, she's such a good-natured person that she always tells me, hey, I was at Walmart and this lady came up, started talking to me. We became, started to engage in conversation, and I have now become the guy that says, you know what, don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
How do you know she's not, working with the
team?
I
hate to say it, Mike, but rightfully so.
Yeah. How do you know she's not working with the team and you become a target and there's somebody else in the store that's going to start following you? That's just what, that's where we are. And it's just a damn shame that we were at that point. So I didn't mean to, kind of bring everybody down. So I'll
way to go, Mike. Here. Thanks.
Yeah. Way to go, Michael J. So let me ask you this. So there's the first question is, what is available today that you wish you had as a kid? And for me, I think it's just the ability to use a device, whether it's a smartphone or whatever it might have been. I wish we had smartphone device technology back then, not because I wanted to call, not because I wanted to text. I don't care about all that crap. I would love to have had some video records. Can you imagine how cool we would be? I mean, the things we've talked about, can you just imagine how cool it would be, how cool we would be to be able to show people, yeah, this is me, Ron, and the rest of the gang rolling those damn coaster cars that we made with 2 nails and, scraps of wood.
Look, there's a challenge right there. Anybody on Debonair Circle or even that was even around or involved in our neighborhood, challenges out, find some pictures of it.
Find some pictures. That's a great idea.
Chad, Ken, Matt, the Martinezes, whoever. Who was it down the street? The Bonkies or
right.
Diana. The hell was her last name? I forget what her name was. But
the kids.
Whomever. I mean, if you know who Mike and I are, or you
Pat Dial.
Yeah, Pat Dial. If you know Mike and I and our family and our friends and where we grew up at, if you have any pictures of that, man, send them in. Let us see it, man. We will put together a collage of stuff and let people see what it was like.
That would be outstanding. I would. You know what? I love that idea, Ron. I would love to do that. If you had those pictures, dude, I will. I'll offer it up. We'll make collages. Hell, if you have them on slides or even negatives, I'll convert them for you. I can do that kind of stuff.
I'll print you a damn T-shirt with that picture on it.
Or just post them to us. That would be outstanding. I would love to see something like that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. You have your moments, little brother.
Sometimes, man. Sometimes.
You have your moments.
You know why?
So the other one, The other one that I had thought about was, if, speaking of debonair, if it were for sale, would you buy the house that you grew up in, or the house that's most associated with your childhood and your youth? Would you buy it?
Mike, do you remember about 20 or so years ago, you and I actually had this conversation about
That's what got me thinking about it, because I know you and I thought about it.
Yeah, and and honestly, because one of my businesses is in real estate also, and I look back now and I wish to God we would have bought it back then.
I do too.
Just because not even so much because of the sentimental value, but being the dick of the group, the money value.
That's because that's where I'm at too. It's a look, investment, and that probably I've missed a few, and that's one I kind of wish, when we talked about it the first time, I do wish we'd have pulled the trigger. I wish we would have bought it.
There's always next time.
There's some sentimental value there, but no, I'm looking at it from the investment side, especially today after having gone through what we did 4 years or so ago with the Dad's house. I was shocked at the market. It's like, holy crap! How much is this house?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, if you don't have your finger on the pulse of it, it's
stupid.
Stupid. Yeah,
it is absolutely stupid. It's funny. Tony Clemente and I still keep in contact after all these years.
Wow.
So if nothing else, it turned me on to a pretty decent cat in Colorado Springs. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he was actually referred to us by the company that Michelle works for here in Las Vegas.
Really?
Or worked for at the time.
He was outstanding. In fact, the day after closing, I think we went and met at a bar and had a great conversation.
I could tell you a funny story about that. So we're talking about technology, right? So for those of you that don't know, our father, stepfather, dad, Archie, passed away years ago, and Mike and I were posed with the task of selling the house. And so anyway, me being in real estate, kind of put everybody together to sell the house and so on and so forth. So also my background, as you don't know, is also in law enforcement. So I'm very that guy of the cameras. So I installed, if you remember, Mike, I installed cameras in Dad's house.
Yeah, so he can watch me sleep.
So
Freak.
I only took a couple of pictures, but no. So because I didn't know who was coming and going in the house.
Right,
I mean, I didn't care about and so they had a cleaning crew come into Dad's house and clean. Well, what I had put in there was what's called a PTZ, a pan tilt zoom camera. So it automatically followed you wherever you went in the house. So these two little cleaning ladies come in, and she kept doing this number, because you could hear the camera.
Yeah.
And follow her. You know what she did? Came over and put a towel over it.
Smart lady.
And I'm like,
you can take that off.
No. I'm on the phone with Tony. I'm like, hey man, there's a couple of people in my dad's house that just put a towel over the camera. I can't see what's going on. And it's not that I'm sitting there watching them. My phone alerted me that there was activity in the house. What do you think I'm going to do? I pull up the camera to see what it is. So, but yeah, you talk about technology. I mean, this is some next level shit. This is some Dick Tracy stuff that we used to watch on TV back in the day. That's now just a click away from Amazon. You get it the next day.
See, and another one that I thought was, because I'm driving Carolyn's car, and so I was driving home the other day, and I thought, we take some things for granted today, and her little car is. It's a sweet little car, and it's got every amenity known to man, including bun warmers and a heated steering wheel. And so I was driving home that day, and it was cold, and I thought, man, having grown up in Colorado Springs and some of the vehicles we had to drive, it's you'd see your breath all the way to wherever you were going in that car.
Yeah, until you stopped and it finally warmed up.
Right. And so I thought, how funny would it be if you had a car and like the truck you just got? What if you had that back? I mean, it would look like a space car. Of course, I thought we'd be driving flying cars by the time I was this old. But if you took those back to the day, think about it. It looked like a space car.
art imitates life, or life imitates art, whichever way it goes. I mean, if you look back when we were kids watching, Star Trek, and they had the doors that were, the open and close. And I remember the day it happened, Mike. I walked into, you used to go walk into the grocery store, and you had to step on that little mat, and it would open the door for you, right? And then all of a sudden they got the sensors, and it opened. And I remember thinking that, I'm like, I used to watch this shit on Star Trek, doors open and close. And I used to think that was the coolest thing ever. And now it's when you have to open a door, you're like, oh, what the fuck? The door can't open itself.
once you bump into one or two of them, you understand, oh crap. Okay. I guess they aren't all magic doors. So, what I find is like those kind of doors, the stores that have them now, those, if they don't open fast enough, it makes me mad. It's like, we've come far enough now that damn thing can be open.
There's a Home Depot here in town, man. I don't know if they said it just to piss me off, but you have to get within like 2 inches of this fucking door before it's not open. I'm just like, God damn it.
But that's where check it out, dude. That's where we are. We are in such an instant gratification world. You mean I have to wait 2 seconds for that damn door to open? I piss on this. I'm going somewhere else. We're standing 2 feet away from the door. No,
so I will say that now that we've gone off the curve here, and we're 26 now, but the last couple of days, and I know I've bitched about this before, but man, I got to rant because I'm just fucking over it. You talk about technology and stuff, and it's great and whatever, but the last couple of times I've been in either big box store, either blue or orange, and you can figure it out from there. I walk up to the register, and I always go to the pro desk because I'm a contractor. So we go through there, we get contractors pricing, blah, blah, blah. And I walk up to the register, and the guy behind the counter or girl, whatever, is like this.
Right.
And then I walk up to the counter. I literally sit there for like 10 seconds, and they're like, nothing. Not a hi, or oh, I'm sorry, or can I help you? No, they just stare at you. And I'm just so the dick I am, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt your texting? It's just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh my God. It annoys the hell out of me. I wish I could have bought my mom's house. Oh, absolutely. Your mom's house was just a sweetheart of a little house. I remember going over there with Dad and fixing the chain link fence in the backyard when.
Are you talking? Which one are you talking about, Matt? The one on Wagon Master, or the one that was?
Probably the last one that she lived in.
Wasn't it like the one on Instant?
Yeah, the little brick house, cute little yard. Yeah, it was. That
awesome. Was a cute little. That was a sweet little adobe right there, a little boat. Yeah, it was Institute. Thank you, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I love that house. I was only there a couple of times. I think I was living in. Oh my God! Of all places, I think I was living in West Wendover, Nevada. If you know where that is, I'm sorry.
No idea.
It's on the Utah-Nevada border in the middle of nowhere. But
there's a lot of places in Nevada that's out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, definitely not where I'm at. Shit. I think we're up to 2.4 or 2.5 million people now.
Well, but it started off as in the middle of nowhere.
But you know what? Here's the thing about Vegas. Vegas, for how large it is, and I hate to use the pun, but it's still a very small town. Is
it really? I know you don't go downtown much. You don't go to the Strip much.
No,
I know you don't.
But the only time we go down there is, the company that Michelle works for is owned by the same guy that owns the Golden Knights hockey team. So right. We'll get tickets for hockey, and I'll go down. That's about as close to the Strip as I get, man. I'm not a people person, man. Crowds of people just turn me off. I don't know why, but I always seem to be the one guy that everybody wants to fuck with in a crowd, and I'd rather not do it.
Yeah. See, so if your sister-in-law is watching right now, it clearly runs in the blood, honey. Because I'm kind of the same way. I don't like crowds. I don't mind it when I'm in the mood for it. I have times where I think, I want to be somewhere or there's some I want some activity. I want some noise. And then there's most of my life, I just want people to shut up and leave me the hell alone.
So I'm gonna have to find this video, Mike, just because I'm the same way. Sometimes I want to be in the crowd, sometimes I don't. So one time we were down on Fremont Street. So for those of you that don't know what Fremont Street here is in Las Vegas, it's like a constant party is all it is. It's, they blocked it off. It's got this big light curtain that goes to the top of it. So Michelle or me or somebody has a video of me. I may or may not be intoxicated, singing karaoke on the street with a street vendor singer with his microphone and his little speaker singing Santeria. Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Now you and I have done karaoke together.
I have that video.
It starts off. We're not totally inebriated.
Look who's on.
Oh, it's our sister.
It's our sister. Hi, sister.
Hola, sister.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. Dude, I was all like down on Fremont Street, man, just live.
God. On Fremont Street, no less.
Was with us. And I watched the video the next day and I'm just like, what an ass.
See, I think the same thing. Guy? Oh God.
So Don, what's your thoughts on if you had the opportunity to buy the house on Debonair at any point in time, would you want to buy it? So for those of you that don't know, this is our sister Dawn that we've talked about in the past. Yeah. And she is on now. Not sure if she knows how to negotiate. There we go. Oh, and look, there's my youngest brother.
There's one for you.
Yeah, another Martinez. Orale. But James, oddly enough, it's funny how in life, how things mend or how things go together. Let me preface that. James and I didn't really see or talk to each other for a long time, and then come to find out, we both drive the same truck, Chevy Silverado. We both end up in the same industry, same business. Matter of fact, he came to Montana with me one time to rehab a house up there.
Well, James is a damn fine laborer. He's a skilled man.
Yeah, so he does the same thing in Colorado Springs that I do here in Vegas. So there's a plug for you, James.
Well, does he have does he have a name for his business?
Yeah.
So if I were to say, if you're looking for a good contractor in Colorado Springs, please call
Fades Enterprises. James Martinez. Post it up there, James. But hell no, when I went to buy that house, the yard was flipping huge, and those rocks are probably, those rocks are gone. those rocks haven't been there for decades. And I agree, man. I remember as kids, those rocks, man, I still have scars on my shins from those damn rocks.
I have scars, but it's not from the rocks. It's from Dad catching me climbing on the rocks.
I was going to say, I remember Dad screaming out of the back door. Get off the rocks!
Get off those rocks! Because the mortar would come off.
Yep.
The rocks would break loose out of the mortar and they'd come off. I mean, it looked good for a while. Look, the house we had when we bought the house,
or did Dad do that?
No, it was already like that when we bought it.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. What it didn't have was the fence. That's
I remember helping Dad build that freaking.
Yeah, and that was a big ass. This wasn't a corner lot; it was a big sweeping circle kind of a thing. So I can only imagine what that was like putting that thing up there.
Yeah, but see, you talk about when you say one of us paid attention. Yeah, I was the kid that was there building the fence. I was the kid.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Building the deck that we built on the back of the house, which is still there to this day, by the way. And
the same deck.
Yeah. And he was one of those cats that could just look at something and go, "Yeah, I can build that."
Right? I look at stuff and go, "Fuck."
Yeah, right.
Let me go find a YouTube. My thing right now is let me go watch YouTube and see if I can figure that out.
Does it come with instructions?
Right. Well, it won't matter because I won't read them anyway.
Who needs instructions? Take
Right.
those instructions.
I just work it till it breaks and think, crap.
Yeah, you can ask my wife about the one time when I had to build a bunk bed for the girls. She's like, man, she goes, I had to take the girls out and go shopping because all I heard was, yeah, fucking piece of god, fucking shit, motherfucking. That's how we get punished, especially if you had a hangover. My love was the worst place to be in the summertime. Well, that's because where her room was right there underneath where we built the deck. Actually, Dad built that room because
it
used to be part of the laundry room.
Yeah. Now that one I did help a little bit, but it wasn't. Here, son, measure, do the. It's hey, Michael, hold this. All right.
Trust me.
Now hold this. Okay. Did I pay attention to what I was doing? Hell no. I hold this, hold that. All right. Well, whatever you say.
I was like, how long do I have to do this? The cow manure. Oh, man. I can't even be around cow manure now because of having to fertilize the freaking yard with that stuff.
It smells like money.
It smells like money. Remember the
nice deck you and James built?
That was James. That was all James.
Like maybe a story for next week, right?
That was all. See what I mean? Now look, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
See, we never stay. The conversation never goes where we try to take it.
And I even said that in the video I posted earlier. I'm like, Mike had posed this question. I said, it'll never stay that whole way, but you know what? It's just join in. It's fun because it's something. Look, now here's the thing. Look, Don, this is the first time Don is joining us. Don, thank you so much for joining us. Love you. Glad to have you on here. But she's bringing out stuff that you and I haven't even touched on. You and I haven't really thought about. But the pyro thing, yeah, we talked about.
Are you trying to set the bed on fire? Yeah, or not even trying. Yeah. You fucking succeeded.
Squirrel.
I may have screwed up here.
Yeah, squirrel.
God, I'm surprised you didn't burn the house down, dude.
Oh man, stop, man. Yeah. There are so many reasons why not only me but you, either one of us should be dead or in prison right now.
Seriously, I'm telling you, right?
Yeah, because there are actually a couple of stories I legitimately can't tell because I do live in fear of it's still coming back to haunt me. But yeah, there's a lot of things. Do you remember when Dad Mike filled the hole and made a little shelf because it was he punched a hole?
Oh yeah, I punched a hole in the wall, and that one I did pay attention to because Dad pissed me off.
I bet you did.
Here's what's funny is he didn't. Dad was a great disciplinarian, and he just knew the right time. He knew. Look, we got spanked. We got our asses beat, and he knew there was a time for that. Then he knew there was a time for just teaching. And I don't even remember what it was about. It might have been about a girl or something. But I went downstairs, and I punched the wall, and I punched it, and I knocked a hole in the wall. Well, I suddenly forgot whatever the hell I was mad about because now my mind switched to, that's good. I'm a dead kid.
I'm going to get killed.
Yay, Dad's going to come down and kill me. And so he came down and looked at it, and without even saying a word, walked out to the garage, left me there, came back, and it's okay. We're going to fix this. And we built the shelf unit. So I don't even know if that's still there or not. So if you live at 4715 Debonair Circle,
please let us know.
There's room, and there's a weird shelf for no damn reason in that wall. That's because I will say one of that reminds me of probably one of the funniest stories, and we're already almost 40 minutes. We're gonna have to start increasing the time on these, but. Right. You talk about Dad and his disciplinary actions. I remember when he caught Roger smoking, and the way he disciplined, because Aunt Linda came to him about it, was he made Roger sit there and smoke almost an entire pack of cigarettes. Roger was blue and green by the time he got done with this. What's really I can see Dad doing that. when I opened up to Dad about smoking, which I've smoked in 20 something years now, but he told me, he didn't do the Roger thing to me. He said, okay, but boy, there's no smoking in the house. You go outside. And so I would go on the back deck because I didn't want anybody on the street knowing I was smoking. So I go on the back deck, and that's where I smoked. Now, where Dad got smart is he understood, wait a minute, the boy is smoking the same cigarettes I am. And so, yeah, he made me buy cigarettes, and he'd say, it wouldn't even let me bum one. It's, hey, give me a cigarette. Hey, give me a cigarette. I think what he was doing is he was taking them. He wasn't smoking. He was just taking them and storing them. Like, okay.
Spend your own damn money.
Right? I'm not charging your rent. Give us some cigarettes.
So look, man. So now that we got some new folks coming on, and Dawn's obviously got a lot to say. So
she's on it.
Hold your horses there, because we're gonna have to get this onto a different one, because a lot of information. Love it. This is exactly what we're here for, is just to bring stuff out, memories, and this is flowing full of stuff. So, but again, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun. Happy Valentine's Day. God bless you all. Love you all. Thanks for being here. Mike, what do you have in closing?
All I'm going to say in closing is ditto to the Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, listen, we know a number of people watch this after it's over. We know people watch after we posted. Please do us a favor. This is what Ronnie and I love about what we're doing. But you can help us grow it. Man, tell some friends about it. Share it with friends. Let's grow this thing. Let's make it bigger than what it is, because look, it may be us too. And you're welcome to join us anytime, man. Just shoot us your email. We'll get you. You can join us right here. But at the end of the day, this is what Ronnie and I are trying to accomplish. And every Wednesday night, I thank God that that my younger brother talked me into doing this, because it is it's my happy place these days. I really enjoy doing this.
Amen.
So until next week, God bless you. Love you, little brother.
Love you too.
Love you, Don. Love you, Don. Love you.